YouTubers that became murderers. Ali Abulaban. 1 million followers. 1 million people who thought they knew this man. Ali Abulaban went by JinnKid online. He did Al Pacino impressions from Scarface, and he nailed them, every single time. People could not get enough of him. They tagged their friends, they shared his clips, they commented things like, "This guy is a legend," and "How is he not famous yet?" He was the kind of creator who made you feel like he was your friend, even though you had never met him. But Ali Abulaban was performing in more ways than one. His marriage to Anna Abulaban was not what it looked like from the outside. Not even close. Behind the camera, behind the laughs, behind the millions of views, there was abuse. There was control. There was fear. Anna wanted out. She filed for a restraining order. She was doing everything a person is supposed to do when they need to escape a dangerous situation. And he responded by becoming more dangerous. He installed a listening app on his daughter's iPad, his own child's iPad. He turned it into a microphone and left it inside Anna's apartment. He sat somewhere else, listening to every word spoken inside that home, waiting, watching through sound. Then he heard something he could not handle. Anna was laughing. She was happy. She was talking with a friend named Rayburn Barron. And that happiness, her happiness without him, was the thing that sent him over the edge. On October 21st, 2021, he drove to the apartment in San Diego, California. He walked in, and in seconds, 2 people were dead. Anna Abulaban, 28 years old. Rayburn Barron, 29 years old. Gone. Erased. In the time it takes you to blink twice, 2 lives ended. His 5-year-old daughter was inside that apartment. She was right there, steps away from her mother's body. A little girl who will grow up carrying a weight that no human being should ever have to carry. Abulaban was arrested the same day, October 21st, 2021. On December 12th, 2023, he was found guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. 1 million people followed him. 1 million people laughed with him, and not a single one of them had any idea who he really was. Stair. Randy Stair told the world exactly what he was going to do. Word for word, video by video, post by post. He spelled it out like a letter nobody bothered to open. He was a YouTuber and animator. He had multiple channels. He drew characters. He created stories. He had a small following of people who liked his work. And slowly, so slowly that nobody noticed, his content started changing. It got darker. The animations became violent. The messages became twisted. He started uploading videos that were not really videos anymore. They were confessions. He talked about death. He talked about ending things. He talked about what was coming. And the internet did what the internet always does. It scrolled past. Because we have all seen dark content before. We have all seen someone post something edgy and thought, that is just how they are. We label it. We file it away. We forget about it. And 99 times out of 100, we are right. It is nothing. But that 1 time out of 100, that is Randy Stair. June 8th, 2017. Roughly 12:30 in the morning. Wise Market's grocery store, Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania. Night shift. The store was closed to customers. Only a handful of employees inside. Stair showed up to work the same way he always did, except this time he brought 2 shotguns hidden inside bags. He had been planning this for months. He wrote about it. He recorded himself talking about it. He timed it. He mapped it. Before he started, he blocked the emergency exits with pallets. He made sure there was no way out. Terry Sterling, 63 years old. Victoria Brong, 26 years old. Brian Hayes, 47 years old. 3 people. 3 names that should mean something to you. 3 human beings who punched in for a regular shift at a grocery store and never punched out. They did not know Randy Stair was planning anything. They did not know that the quiet kid who stocked shelves beside them had already decided they were going to die. Stair ended his own life that same night. He was 24 years old. When investigators pulled apart his online world afterward, they found everything. Hundreds of uploads, detailed plans, timelines, explanations, all sitting right there, on the internet, in public, for months, and not one person raised an alarm loud enough to stop it. The scariest part of this story is not what Randy Stair did. The scariest part is that he announced it, and nobody listened. Stephen McDaniel. You have probably already seen this man's face, and you do not even know it, because one moment from his story became one of the most viral clips in true crime history. Stephen McDaniel was a law student at Mercer University in Macon, Georgia. Thin, pale, quiet. The type of person you could sit next to for a whole semester and never learn their name. He had a YouTube channel, a few random uploads, nothing memorable, nothing alarming, just background noise on the internet. He lived in an apartment complex, And right next door to him lived a young woman named Lauren Giddings. She was also a law student. She was 27 years old. She had just finished her exams. She was about to graduate. Her whole future was sitting in front of her like an open road. On June 26, 2011, Lauren vanished. Her friends could not reach her. Her family was terrified. Nobody knew where she was. Police were called. Reporters rushed to the apartment complex. Camera crews set up outside. Everyone wanted answers. And Stephen McDaniel gave them an interview. He stood in front of the camera. He looked nervous. His eyes moved too fast. His skin looked like it had never seen sunlight. He spoke in a flat, hollow voice and said he hoped Lauren was safe. He said he could not believe something like this could happen. He said he was worried about her. Every single word was a lie. He knew exactly where Lauren was. He knew because he was the one who killed her. On the night of June 26th, he had broken into her apartment. He had strangled her. He had dismembered her body. And pieces of her remains were sitting in a trash can just yards away from where he stood pretending to be a concerned neighbor on live television. Then the reporter said something that changed everything. She mentioned that a body had been found nearby. Watch the clip. Watch McDaniel's face. His jaw drops. His eyes go empty. His body locks up like someone unplugged him from the inside. He starts stammering. He cannot form sentences. In that single moment on live television, the mask fell off. And millions of people got to watch a murderer realize that his world was about to collapse. He was arrested on June 30th, 2011, 4 days after Lauren's disappearance. In 2014, Stephen McDaniel pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Stephen McDaniel was not loud. He was not dramatic. He did not post warnings or confessions. He was just the quiet guy next door with a forgettable YouTube channel. And that is what makes his story one of the most terrifying on this list. Because there was nothing to see. No red flag. No warning sign. Just a man who looked completely ordinary and turned out to be anything but. Elliot Rodger. He sat in his car, camera on, sun going down behind him, and he talked. Not fast, not loud, slow, measured, like every word had been rehearsed 1,000 times. Elliot Rodger was 22 years old. He uploaded video after video of himself sitting alone in that car. He talked about loneliness. He talked about rejection. He talked about how unfair life was, how the world owed him something it refused to give, how women had ignored him, how other men had what he deserved. The tone was not angry the way you would expect. It was worse. It was calm, certain, like a man who had already decided what he was going to do and was simply explaining it to a camera before he did it. Some people watched those videos and felt uncomfortable. Some laughed them off. Some left mean comments. Some ignored them entirely. Because the internet is full of people ranting into cameras. It is full of bitter monologues and angry takes. We see it so often that we have become numb to it. And that numbness has a cost. May 23, 2014, around 9:27 in the evening, Isla Vista, California, near the University of California, Santa Barbara campus, Elliot Rodger began his attack. It started at his own apartment, where he stabbed 3 men to death. Then he got in his black BMW and drove through Isla Vista, shooting at people on the street and inside a sorority house. Within 10 minutes, 6 people were dead and 14 others were injured. Then he took his own life. George Chen was 19. Cheng Yuan Hong was 20. Weihan Wang was 20. Catherine Cooper was 22. Veronica Weiss was 19. Christopher Michaels Martinez was 20. Read those ages again. 19, 20, 20, 22, 19, 20. These were not statistics. They were people at the very beginning of everything. Their futures were not just taken from them. Their futures were stolen by a man who used YouTube as a diary for his hatred. Before the attack, at approximately 9:17 that evening, just minutes before the first killing, Rodger uploaded one last video. He sat in that same car, same angle, same calm voice, and he told the world exactly what was coming. Frame by frame, word by word. Uploaded, published, available for anyone with an internet connection to watch. Nobody stopped him. After the attack, the conversation exploded. How do you tell the difference between someone who is angry online and someone who is about to turn that anger into violence? Where is the line? How do you find it before it is too late? Years later, we are still asking, and we still do not have a good answer. Luka Magnotta. Everything Luka Magnotta did in his life was for one reason: attention. He tried modeling. Nobody looked. He tried acting. Nobody cared. He posted videos of himself online. Nobody watched. He tried everything he could think of to make the world notice him, and the world kept walking past like he was not even there. For most people, that would be a disappointment. For Luka Magnotta, it became an obsession. And that obsession eventually consumed every human thing left inside him. On May 24, 2012, Magnotta murdered a man named Jun Lin in his apartment in Montreal, Canada. Jun Lin was 33 years old, a Chinese international student studying at Concordia University. He was far from home. He was building something. He had a family across the ocean who believed in him and loved him and waited for his calls. What Magnotta did to Jun Lin is something we will not describe here. Not because the details are not available, they are, but because some acts are so far beyond the boundary of human decency that repeating them gives the killer exactly what he wanted. And Luka Magnotta does not deserve another ounce of what he wanted. What we will tell you is this. He recorded it. All of it. On May 25, 2012, he uploaded the video to the internet. He wanted the world to watch. He wanted the gasps, the shock, the headlines. He wanted every news anchor on every continent to say his name out loud. And the sickest part of all? It worked. The video spread everywhere. Every major news outlet in the world covered the story. His name was on every screen in every language. Interpol issued a global red notice on May 31, 2012. His photograph was broadcast in dozens of countries simultaneously. After the murder, Magnotta ran. On June 1st, he fled Canada using a fake passport. He flew to Paris, then to Berlin. He moved from country to country like a ghost. The whole world was looking for him, and he kept going. On June 4, 2012, just 10 days after the murder, he was found in an internet cafe in the Neukölln district of Berlin, Germany. When police walked in, he was sitting at a computer, reading news articles about himself. Let that image burn into your mind. A man who murdered an innocent human being fled across the world and sat down at a cafe to Google his own name. Because even while running for his life, the addiction to attention was stronger than the fear of being caught. He was arrested on the spot. His trial began on September 29, 2014. On December 23, 2014, Luka Magnotta was found guilty of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole for 25 years. Luka Magnotta is where he belongs now, behind bars, forgotten by most, hated by the rest. The fame he killed for turned to dust the moment the cell door closed. And Jun Lin deserved every single day he was never allowed to live. He deserved to graduate, to build a career, to go home and hug his parents, to grow old. He deserved all of it. And it was taken from him by a man who thought his own hunger for attention was worth more than another person's life. It was not. It never will be. Let me ask you something. Which name on this list kept you up tonight? Drop it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe our channel.